Hey, everyone.
Hey, John.
We are off today.
Right.
We're all enjoying our Memorial Day. But we wanted to share this best of episode from our new subscription exclusive show, Terminally Online.
I bet I'm featured a lot in this.
There's
Cool.
There's a revolving cast in the show that includes us, the three of us, with some of your favorite crooked producers and staff. And we basically gather to commiserate about being way too online.
Yes, we do.
Which we are, as we make shows here at Crooked Media. Except for me, I'm pretty offline these
John's
days.
super chill now.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know that. Anyway, we hope you enjoy it. It's so fun.
I love this show.
It's so fun recording Terminally Online. So if you want access to weekly episodes of Terminally Online and so much more, head to crooked.com/friends and subscribe today. A lot of benefits to being a subscriber. You get to be part of the community. You get to be in the Discord channel.
Be a sub.
You can be a sub, right?
You can be a friend with benefits.
You can be a friend with benefits.
You can help Vote Save America.
You're going to hear a bunch of different voices in the excerpts. This is a best of show of Terminally Online that we put together for you today. And here it is now, Terminally Online. Enjoy it.
We're starting. No small talk. Welcome to Terminally Online, the Crooked subscription show. I'm Elijah Cohn.
I'm Jon Favreau.
I'm Jon Lovett. Just imagining Elijah saying that on a first date.
Jump in right in.
No small talk. I'm Elijah.
I'm Halle, Kiefer.
I'm Tommy Vietor.
This is a chance for us to commiserate about being way too online as we work here at Crooked Media and cover the news. Jon Favreau, what is the moment you realized that you were too online this week?
The moment I knew that I was terminally online this week is when I found myself knowing every detail of the fight between Elon Musk and Matt Taibbi.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
So, for all of you who have not followed this,
I was riding shotgun with you, pal.
Matt Taibbi, former lefty journalist who's gone all the way around the political horseshoe. Now he's a righty media guy. Elon Musk hands him a bunch of internal Twitter info, Twitter emails, which is supposed to show that the previous Twitter leadership was in cahoots with the deep state to censor conservatives and defeat Donald Trump.
The Twitter files.
It's the Twitter files, they're called.
It's branded now.
They did not show that.
Yep.
They did not show that. Taibbi also has a Substack newsletter. This becomes an issue when recently Elon goes to war with Substack over their new notes feature, which is like Twitter, but with fewer Nazis. Elon then restricts tweets from Substack links because he believes so hard in free speech. Then Matt Taibbi announces he's leaving Twitter for notes. Elon then says Taibbi was a former employee of Substack, which is not true, and that Substack was trying to steal data from Twitter, which is also not true. And we know that because then Twitter stopped shadow banning Substack links. But even though you thought this was all over, after they stopped banning Substack links,
What happened?
Elon then
Like
replied.
a hand through a graveyard.
Elon, he just kept on posting. He just keeps on posting.
Post through it.
And he replied to a tweet from one of his other Twitter Files fanboys, Michael Schellenberger, with screenshots of his private Signal conversation with Taibbi that he thought would prove that Taibbi was in fact a Substack employee. Here's what's amazing is that Elon thought that these private Signal messages would prove that Matt Taibbi was an employee of Substack.
Oh, boy.
As he says in the DMs, I was never a Substack employee. I was merely one of the first contributors. So the great aha moment from Elon Musk, which he proved that he was right this whole time, just was nothing. And then Elon had to delete these because he then felt bad.
This is a genuine question. Do you think Elon Musk can read?
Like
Seeing that, I'm like, I genuinely don't know at this point.
It's like ready, fire, aim on every issue, all the time.
The interesting thing about it is he really is just a Twitter power user with too much authority now.
Yeah.
Because he really is just, he posts through it. He says whatever's on his mind. He shoots. He makes mistakes. He gets shit wrong. He's the ultimate Twitter avatar.
He just tweeted just a couple minutes ago that the defund NPR. He gave an interview with BBC last night where someone said, well, you promised you'd step down as CEO if you lost the poll, and you did lose that poll, so why haven't you stepped down? He said, my dog is now CEO of Twitter. And he just kept saying
He
that.
just has the worst sense of humor.
It's the worst sense of
Now,
humor.
did you see they took W out of Twitter, so it says titter on the
Yeah.
side of the building.
Yeah.
That's
And they
correct.
reply to every press request with an automatic poop emoji.
Yeah. That's all. This is like a piecing together a suicide note over time. You know what I mean? Like if I started to do all this stuff, I'd be like, yeah, things are really falling apart for her.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, that's all. That's what I got. I'm
Too
just
online.
way too
Too
online.
online.
Listen,
Damn.
if you want to go
5.
deeper, watch the Mehdi Hassan interview with Matt Taibbi, where Matt Taibbi does not look good.
No, he doesn't. I think it's a 5, John. I think that's terminal.
No,
Yeah,
I think
you're in
you
deep.
know too much. I
Last
think you've
time,
seen too much.
I think I came with a pretty weak entry last time, so I wanted to make sure I
Yeah,
was
you
came
sufficiently
correct.
You're
terminal
dead.
this time.
You're
Yeah, I'm
dead.
gonna-
You're terminal.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
good.
give it a 4 though, because I feel like we could do better.
Room to grow.
Okay.
Not me personally, but what do you guys?
Okay.
Cool.
Well, I mean, death is, there's lots of. You don't get more dead. He's there.
Let's
All right,
find
Kevin.
out. Let's keep this segment rolling and find out.
One note on this is that Elon Musk is gonna. He says he's gonna get rid of blue check marks for people who don't pay for Twitter Blue on 420, which is so cool, so funny. What are we gonna do with the Pod Save America handle? Are we gonna pay for Twitter Blue? Or are we gonna
Oh,
pay
we
for
are
it?
No. What
we
do
are
you think?
not gonna pay
Yeah,
Elon Musk
no.
one fucking red penny. Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
That'll be the
Absolutely
you'll
not.
know when we paid Elon because that I won't work here anymore. That'll be my last fucking day.
It's dying breath, people.
The Tesla owner over here.
I'm trying to get rid of the thing. I can't offload it. Think
Oh, you can.
it's like
many.
it's like
Oh.
it's like
Oh.
it's like
Wow.
it's like
Where?
driving around with it.
Where's,
It's a,
where's
it's
the
a-
ad for it?
Your,
Is there-
your tune has changed.
What do you mean my tune has changed? I've been trying to get rid of this thing for fucking months. Who wants it? It's a rattly fucking.
How have you been trying? Tell
said
us,
you
talk,
loved it.
talk to us about the process.
Well, I'm trying to find
Have
another
you,
car that
have you been on
I,
Craigslist?
I need to find it.
Facebook
Is it in
marketplace?
is it in the wanted ads in the back of the newspaper?
The thing is,
Tweet about.
there's a car I want, but it's not out yet.
Is it the Cybertruck?
And it is. It is.
Love it.
Oh, it is the. It's a Cybertruck. Guys, it's a Cybertruck. I want the fucking
Well,
Cybertruck.
it was nice to know you because you'll be dead within days when you have that thing.
Yeah.
They tweeted a photo of the Cybertruck, like the newest one, and even in that photo, like you could see like the panels are peeling off, and I'm like, what?
And
People are gonna
also,
die.
it's
Not-
also
not
I
cool
didn't.
looking.
He didn't own Twitter when I got the fucking Tesla. He was a little annoying, but I didn't know it was gonna be like this.
I just remember a fairly recent episode of Pod Save America where you were like, "Come at me, bros! I love my Tesla. It's amazing."
I know, but then he really went too far.
Okay.
Much like Starbucks and the olive oil.
We all have to learn, you know.
What do you-
Elisha?
Love it.
All right.
Love it. When were you terminally online this week?
So, now I've been mocked for this in the past, and I'm sure I will again. I am part of basically, I think, what amounts for Q-Anon, but if the Q stood for queer, and that is people who look for signals on the internet that Taylor Swift is just trying to communicate that she's in some way not straight. Now,
Like Al Jazeera and Al
yeah,
Qaeda.
like the
in the
like
90s.
like she's blinking out the fucking SOS, like SOS, like beep 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 beep. I'm by, you know.
You're a galer.
I'm a galer.
Okay, you looking for those Easter eggs?
I'm looking for those Easter eggs everywhere. Now, her tour, the Era's tour,
Era's tour.
has begun, and there are signs. But I don't want to really. We can show a clip that gives you a taste of what's happening out there.
Okay, so just to recap, Taylor Swift opened the Eras tour like this. Sang Invisible String in front of smoke that looks very suspiciously familiar. Had this background up during illicit affairs until she got to the line that says, "You showed me colors you know I can't see with anyone else," when it faded to black and white. Had all of this shit going on during Lavender Haze.
So basically, there's a claim that, like, in the colors she's wearing on stage, she is doing various versions of the pride flag.
Right, in that case, the lesbian flag.
The lesbian flag. Now, there is a moment later where there does seem to be. There's a suggestion that her outfits are meant to mirror Carly Claus outfits, including the moment
Carly
Carly
Claus.
Claus outfits, not Claus like Santa Claus, Carly Claus outfits.
Like
and there's
Jack Nicklaus.
Santa Claus's daughter. Yes, we were all following.
Yeah, I got that
Nepo
one,
baby
Tommy.
Santa Claus's daughter, Carly Claus, who got everything handed to her from the fucking wealth of the North Pole, and nobody talks about it. But there's a moment on stage where she says none of it was accidental, where she is dressed like and on a stage like a moment Carly Claus had. But I don't want to talk about that. These are just rumors. This is not actually what
Ooh,
makes me
okay.
too online, because a lot of people know and talk about this. That's not what I'm talking about today. Here's what I'm
Let's
talking
go
about
deeper.
today. Let's go deeper. There's also a question about how Taylor Swift gets to the stage before the show even begins. And there are basically people.
This is the suitcase rumor?
This is no. This is people trying to get evidence. Can we show the clip of the janitorial cart moving through the arena?
You're building a case, which I really appreciate. This is Gwyneth Paltrow's trial all over again. This is you as your lawyer self.
So there's lots of footage like this of a janitorial cart moving around the arena. The only problem is it is rare to see a cart that big moved by 2 security guards with headsets on, followed by several other security guards. But then, finally, at long last, after many clips like this, we have the proof that this is a fake cart. Because there it is. This is like the Zapruder film.
I was going to say,
the cart is parked, the door opens, and out comes Taylor Swift from inside the janitorial cart.
Wow.
Wow.
It was a fake cart after all. I do believe she's bisexual.
I think
these things are unrelated. I thought
okay.
They're very unrelated.
They're related.
Yeah, thank you. I would just like this 3 straight men not to tell me it's unrelated. Halle and I understand as queer people that the cart and the bisexuality are tied inextricably together.
She's coming out of the cart.
Yeah.
You bet. Exactly. Smart.
First of all, the footage does look like it's being shot from the top of a bell tower, which I find very like, who is filming this?
Second coming on a grassy knoll. Is that what you're saying?
Well, or I was a book depository. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's from an uncomfortable angle in my mind.
Thank you for getting that.
Sadly, unfortunately I do think she's bisexual as well, but that's much more of a bummer than if she was just straight, because then it's like, oh, you can only convey your bisexuality through smoke. And your little outfits. That's as a queer person, such a bummer. But I 100% believe the conspiracy.
We're part of QAnon.
And I'm glad to Queer-Anon, yes. And
Queer-Anon.
I'm glad to see confirmation that she was in the cart. Thank you for sharing this.
I do not believe this. But
Okay.
That's fine.
You don't have to. It's not for
You're
you.
a Hitler.
I
believe.
just
They're
think
called
that
Hetlers. We're Gaylers and you're Hetlers.
Hitler?
Hitler. No, you said Hitler. It's Hitler.
Heil Hitler.
Heterosexual.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Harlan.
Want to see my backyard? The way that she is, I just think that her hints about her bisexuality would be a little more obvious.
You'd hope, but
she really, when she wants to communicate something, she really lets you know.
We can't give her a little time.
We're giving her time.
she's got all the time in the world. No one's gonna.
I support whatever choice and path that she's on, whether it's real or not.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, it's just it's just unfortunate if she is bi. She has to hide the half of herself. You hate to see it,
in a cart of secrets.
Right,
In a
exactly.
janitorial cart
There was
of
also
shame.
People thought that she went into her apartment in New York once in a suitcase, I believe.
Yes, I remember this as well.
That's a thing.
Looking at Simone. Simone would know. Yeah,
I'm
that
sure
was
she
that was
did.
a rumor
I-
too.
that
Well, now
100%
that
is
I've
like
seen
that-
the janitor
yeah.
cart, now I
believe
I
it.
believe that more.
She loves to be moved around in luggage.
Cart filled.
She likes to be moved around in surprising containers. All right, well, give me a number.
How online is Lovett? I don't know how to rank the.
Honestly, I think that's pretty impressively on. I think
Yeah,
that's a 4.
That's a 4.
That's a 4.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 3 only because there is such a no offense to you, a baseline of conspiracy information available online. There are dossiers about Taylor Swift being queer, so you were building on it. But it's like, again, being a lawyer, which you are for this case, there's precedent, there are books for you to refer to. Like, you're building on decades at this
I
point.
stand on the shoulders of giants.
Exactly, 100%. So I'm going to say 3, not quite as online as it might seem.
It's all on Hunter's laptop.
I'm gonna say 3.5.
Damn it.
To be
3.5.
continued. Tommy, when did you realize that you were terminally online this week?
So I want to talk to you all about the most useless feature in all of social media, which is the Twitter What's Happening section on the right side of the homepage.
Yeah.
If you log on to Twitter on the web, there's a little section on the right-hand side of the screen. I would say a solid 75% of the time, you see a name trending for some reason, maybe trending just for you. You click on it, and it's a series of unfunny, redundant jokes and memes about how everyone thought that person was dead, and then generally no actual actionable or useful information to help you figure out why that person is trending.
You're just hoping it's not your name.
Yeah, you just you don't want to be
every day.
you. So
Check, you make sure you're not trending, then get your coffee.
So I was looking for a topic for today, and for example, today I saw that Epstein was trending.
All right.
So I'm like, all right,
I'm going to click.
I'll bite. I'll play ball.
You're
here,
like, I
you
know
want.
he's still alive.
I click on it. It's a couple tweets about Jeffrey Epstein, your pal.
Been on the island. Been on the island.
Okay. A couple more about Brian Epstein, the guy who discovered the Beatles. A clinical trial for a vaccine to treat the Epstein-Barr
my
virus.
God.
And then a tweet by someone with the last name Epstein. Who is this for? Who is this helping?
Yeah.
Bringing those things together.
Well, it seems like it's probably because it's now broken. That
Yeah.
A, the platform doesn't have enough tweets to properly fulfill what's happening.
Yeah.
And B, there probably used to be a whole team that was like, hey, this is too many topics mixed together, but he fucking shit canned
I gotta
those
tell
people
you,
6 months ago.
This has been a useless feature for a long time.
It has.
This morning, Hump Day was trending. I clicked on that too.
Why?
There was a Pepe frog. There were some cringy tweets about TFG getting arrested. There was this video that we'll show you right now. Just basset hounds walking over a log.
Well, because Hump Day.
See, now that's worth it.
They're,
Right?
like
they're
that.
getting over the
Now
hump.
This is
I'm back
great.
on board.
Right?
This is great.
And then there was some extremely graphic pornography that we will not
Where's that?
throw
That's
to.
Where's that?
Hump
No.
Day.
I know.
Again,
And I said, "Where's that?"
Oh.
who is this for, and what's wrong with me that I continue to click on it?
Yeah, because if I saw Hump, I will say that's what's on you is the Hump Day one. Because
I
if
wanna
I
see
saw Hump Day
jokes.
trending, I'd be like, "Oh, it's Wednesday."
Right, yeah.
That's it.
Epstein, I'd be like,
The Epstein,
did they kill
I'm
him
clicking
again?
on the Epstein for sure.
I think it's almost like it is designed, much like Twitter's breaking. It's like it is designed to break you. Like it's like as it's like you like the logic is broken, so it's designed to mentally break our ability to seek logic.
Yeah.
It's not good.
We were all spiders crawling on the internet, and then Elon came along and ripped off each of one of our legs.
Yeah.
And now we're kind of running around little kind of circles. Can't make sense of
I'm
it.
looking. Michael Cohen for $500 is trending. That's interesting to me.
Oh, because Trump is suing Michael Cohen for $500 million for breach of contract. I got to tell you,
Wow, really?
just like 30,000 foot view, Trump's got a great case. Michael Cohen has been a terrible lawyer for Donald Trump.
He's definitely right.
Yeah.
He's right about that.
Yeah.
Not a good lawyer.
Like totally violated
Oh, man.
privilege.
Would not hire
turned
him
on
to be
him.
my lawyer.
Terrible lawyer.
Absolutely.
I hope Donald Trump wins that one.
Ohio is trending. Oh, good. All the
God.
information I could ever want about fucking Ohio. Good for NPR. Hashtag stuck market. Oh, that'll narrow it down.
Tesla's trending. I wonder if this is about Lovett's car that he's trying to sell.
Good.
And hey, listen, if you're one of our many wonderful friends of the pod and part of the community, and you're in the market for a barely used Tesla that does rattle on the highway, like you're being shaken by God. And then inexplicably, every time you make a left turn, it sounds like a fucking bowling ball's rolling somewhere to the right.
We will be introducing a special tier where you can pay for, and you will get the Tesla.
Oh, that's
for
good.
if you-
A contest.
If you
Yeah.
join that tier.
It's a very special tier that does come with a Tesla. Price to move, people. Price to move.
It is cool that NPR was just like, it's not a good platform.
Yeah,
We're
I respect
leaving it
that.
entirely.
I do respect that.
Well, it's actually the thing we've also noticed this over the years that like people don't click through when we post pods. It doesn't lead to listens. It doesn't do anything.
It's
Not at all.
It's the worst engagement. Like you can look at a tweet. You'll send a tweet that has like 2 million views, and you'll get like 10,000 link clicks. It's terrible.
But because it sucked up all the
That's the word I'm looking
oxygen for every other kind of social, it's like maybe like that was preventing something that would have had better kind of click throughs that doesn't exist because Twitter was the
Yeah.
kind of central hub.
It's all moved to notes. We ready to move to notes?
I'll go wherever people tell me to go.
I'm
Yeah,
definitely
truly.
not. I'm definitely not tooting.
You're
that's
not
for
on
sure.
post.news?
No.
I'm not on post. Are you on post?
I logged in once.
Oh, wow. Okay. How is it?
Yeah.
That's how I was on notes, and a lot of people being like, "Hey, I'm here on notes."
Here's the thing.
I think actually the Crooked Discord is a lovely alternative to Twitter. Where
I like
the
people
Crooked
talk
Discord.
Okay, sure.
post
Love
news.
Crooked
Yeah,
Discord.
no, I've been
We got a good squad in there.
enjoying some folks on there. Enjoying talking
People
with some folks on
there's
there.
also the marketplace where you can buy cars, sell cars, whatever you want. The Crooked
Yeah,
Discord marketplace.
I'm a big Facebook Marketplace gal. I'll be honest. That's where it's all happening.
Crooked used.
Should we rank Tommy?
Yeah, let's do it. I think this is indicative that he's not very online at all, didn't really come prepared, just went to the trending page on like the It's okay, I'm not really prepared either. So
I'm saying I came
think-
even less prepared, so if that's the reaction to Tommy, I will give you a 2 though.
I'll give
Thank
you a
you.
2.
Yeah, it's
that's
a two.
what I was
Give me
It's
thinking.
a two.
I'll
It's
take
a
it.
two.
Listen, you guys go down that
You
hump
click
day
your,
rabbit hole. You
it's also
get
this sort
back
of
to
like,
me.
Well, now-
you know
yeah,
what?
that'll be
Honestly,
after
this is what
this
you
is over.
deserve. You're like, I come to Hump Day to get funny little jokes about the workplace. Yeah, it's Friday o'clock somewhere. That's what Tommy wanted on Hump Day.
said you had like 2 ass cheeks
Yeah,
clapping
yeah.
in your face like an OnlyFans stars.
Hump Day, Chardonnay me. Something. Don't Chardonnay me before I've had my Hump Day. that kind of thing.
That's good stuff.
Halle, when did you realize that you were terminally online this week?
Well, so I also came unprepared. So I was offered a dispensation by Elijah as the god of this segment to talk about doing a segment, producing a segment that relates to something that's very online. But again, Elijah told me I couldn't talk about it because he talked about it last week. But basically, at Love It or Leave It last week, we were in solidarity with Dylan Mulvaney, the trans woman who is now literally like being torn apart by the right constantly for doing a Bud Light ad. And she's also done other ads like a Nike ad and sort of has become this avatar of right vitriol. In support of her, we did buy some Bud Lights that we were going to chug on stage. And again, there was a video where Kid Rock shot up a bunch of cases of Bud Light. You don't like to see in like somebody so threatened by the presence of a trans woman, they shoot something. It just, the whole thing was bad. So I thought, we'll get some Bud Lights. We'll drink them on stage in solidarity. And it all made sense. So I haven't had a Bud Light since I was in college. And I bring them out, and we weren't going to shotgun them because they have a rug at the LA's beautiful Dynasty Typewriter. Please come see it. We're there every Thursday. But I bring it out, and I don't know. I'd love to know your reaction because we crack them open. I'm like, all right, this is a funny bit. It will take us 30 seconds. The second that dirty fucking dishwater hit my mouth, first of all, swill. Okay, no offense, Bud Light. If you're gonna be a sponsor,
Well, it is offense.
It's
It's meant to
deep
offend.
offense. No, if you're 18, you don't have taste buds or whatever, that's fine. And then, two, it was like a surge of every college memory
Yeah.
of drinking that shit and then just drinking like 9 of them and throwing up in front of your friend or whatever. What was your because then we both mutually put it down and said, I'm sorry, this was a bad bit.
We just killed. We just
we were like, we
got
can't
out.
gonna do it.
And Lovett chugged a whole thing of milk on stage in
milk is
Wisconsin.
It's the
Milk is-
carbonation and the cold that really killed it for me.
Should have shotgunned it.
I don't
Should have shocked. Yeah, why didn't you? Yeah, that
because
was
the rug. We didn't want to smell on the rug. We were
Yeah,
afraid
we
to get
wanted-
in trouble. We're
It
trying
would
to
have
be
at least been
respectful.
funnier, but also I literally couldn't even swallow the first sip because it was so rank. You could have
I don't mind
it.
Bud Light.
Keg
I
stand.
prefer
You should do
Miller
keg
Light.
stands
I
next
prefer
time.
Miller Light. I've had a
I
I'm
would
few.
do
getting
Miller Lite, I
excited
would
to
do a
drink
Coors
Bud
Light.
Light just talking about this. Right
I
now.
would have a Bud Light right now with
Yeah.
this segment. I think you're both ridiculous.
And
I didn't dislike it. It was just too cold to chug.
too cold.
See, and now I know for
And
next time.
carbonated.
Because to me, it had to be ice cold because it tastes like, again, rat piss. So I just didn't want it to be
That was why
warm.
it
you
took me
guys
so
are not
long
on
to
my team for the case race. That's for sure.
It took me too long to drink the chocolate milk in Wisconsin because it was so cold.
Yeah.
And ice cream headaches.
This is good,
Headaches
and
are
this is
bad.
good production knowledge for me, is that if you want to drink a liquid, a lot of it has to be warm.
I need room
And I
temperature,
should have known that
baby.
about you.
You can't do
I
warm
should have
milk
known you.
though. Jesus
No.
Christ.
It's horrific. It's almost as bad as the coffee.
So the only reason I think it is online is because I saw something online and I was so moved that I brought it to real life, which one would argue is actually the most online thing to do. Is that I brought it from online back into reality, and I think as a queer person, these are just going to keep happening, especially as it relates to trans people. Like these corporate pride gestures are going to be running up against like the right's need to create like a constant, like, you know what I mean, the constant churn of hysteria and argument or whatever. And I think as a queer person, it's like I'm obviously going to support any queer or trans person, but I brought a physical manifestation of the feeling of this, which is this is a nutcracker I bought at Target over the holidays.
It's a pride
which
nutcracker.
is a pride nutcracker. It has pink hair and makeup and a pride flag. And this is, I think, where we're at, where it's like there's corporations are like, I think this is what a queer person is, maybe, so we'll make a nutcracker
Can I
for
see it
them.
for 1 second?
Which
I
I
just
don't
wanted to see if
hate.
it was. And
Made
it
in
was
China.
surely made by fucking tortured Uyghurs. It's
Right, so it's like,
unbelievable.
this
Yep,
is
made,
as-
there it is.
Right, and so
there it
as
is. This is what corporate pride is now. A Christmas symbol made gay, manufactured by people in impoverished conditions. Terrific.
Exactly. And so we have this, and eventually, hopefully, we'll have real liberation. But in the meantime, it's like, I will drink the Bud Light, not because I want to support Bud Light but I will support the gesture of pride.
You could just buy it and dump it out.
It sounds to me
We
like
did.
It
We absolutely
sounds to me
did.
like you were very online. You tried to go touch grass
Yeah.
and then didn't like it, so
Failed at
then
it.
you went back online.
Yeah,
I
that
touched it
sounds
the wrong
right.
way. I touched, my hands are all
You
bad
were
now.
inspired by
And-
Kid Rock, and you were like, I stand with kids. So you got your Harry Potter
No!
book, and your trash some Bud Light, and here
I'm
we
going
are.
to shoot something you like. I'm going to shoot that Snapple.
Oh no.
Also, in case you're obviously you're watching the video, the fact you're drinking Snapple out of a glass with no ice is to me insane.
Listen, I wasn't trying to give him a branded image.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
So I don't know. What would that rank?
I
Three
think
and a
a
half.
4, 3.5.
Four.
I'm
Okay.
giving you a 2.
Okay.
I think
Two.
I think Kid Rock sucks, and you were right to try to tell him to fuck off.
Thank you. Thank you, Taibbi.
Love his music.
Love his,
No.
Love his music. Love his.
Love
I mean, look,
is
he's
music.
obviously an
He's a
incredible
musician.
musician.
He's an artist. He's an artist.
He's an incredible artist. We need to separate that art from the artist.
We have to. We have
when it
to.
comes to Kid Rock.
Much like how Hitler was a great musician.
Yeah.
Right,
Like
yeah,
Caravaggio.
like- much like Hitler.
Did you see
Once,
the
like,
video? Speaking of Hitler, did you see the video of Kid Rock DJing at Mar-a-Lago, and he's like couldn't get it to work, and Donald Trump Jr. was like, "Oh my God!" He's like going live, like, "How crazy is this?" It's fucking like it's a funeral home with Kid Rock DJing.
That's very online right
that
there.
was
Tommy
very-
just saved
yeah.
himself. You should have come here. Why didn't you come with that?
Yeah, that was.
That gets a 4 or a 5 right there.
You see this? No.
Yeah, Tommy always upgrades himself like halfway through the
Yeah.
episode. He brings like a pretty tame topic and then he jumps on someone else's.
I did.
I also want to say, because the people seeing this are paying for it, you need to know how filthy Tommy's keyboard. And I am a disgusting person. It looks like there's like Nutella on your keyboard right now.
The issue is there's something sticky got on, and then it got a layer of fuzz.
Oh, no.
Okay, all right.
You know that.
Boy.
This came from
Oh,
the Hump Day
boy.
search.
Yeah,
You
you know,
know, boy.
you know how we do
Humble.
in the
Hump-
subscription
Oh my
channel.
God.
Oh, gross.
Hashtag Hump Day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
my coffee has a little olive oil in it. I'm disgusting.
No,
yeah.
it's still pretty gross though.
My terminally online, I was going to do HBO Max turning into just
Oh, yeah.
simply Max, which is strange. But then I kind of realized it was just a take about Succession. So I'll get to the Succession thing. I'll just point out that you have to change. If you have HBO Max and you enjoy watching Succession, you have to download a whole new app.
Yeah.
HBO Max is changing to an app called Max, and it's not going to update. You're not just going to get a new logo on your Roku or whatever the fuck. You have to go download a whole new app called Max, or on Sunday you're not going to be able to watch the season finale of Succession.
Yeah, that's
And-
why they did it. They did it so that they would make sure people would download it.
Oh, that's smart. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's part of.
It's
the
also
time
going to be a
thing.
nightmare on Sunday. There's going to be a ton of people complaining about it. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So that'll be content. My
Can't wait.
my terminally online is, look, I know I'm going to get killed for this, but
Do it.
Succession, I like it a lot, but once again, like with the episode, I watch the episodes, I enjoy the show, fine, and then I go online and it's like I just saw Michelangelo carve David, the statue, perfectly in an hour of immaculate television. And I then say, you know what? I did like that a lot more than I thought I did. And I'm standing up, and I know there are others of you out there who feel the same way I do, who get a little bored during the episodes, then go online and say, I guess I did like that more than I did. And before the finale, which I am looking forward to very much, you're seen. There are other people out there and who feel the same way. And
You still haven't like even really said what, like, it feels like you're trying to say you don't like Succession, and it's like you're holding
afraid of
back
it.
Yeah,
every
just
time.
say it.
It's
Just
like
fucking
you're
say it
you're
already.
a coward pretending to be brave.
Yeah.
You're like Ron
Fucking
DeSantis.
say it. Jesus.
Succession is a 7 out of 10 this season.
Wow.
And everyone's
There
giving
it
it a
is.
10 out of 10.
There
So
it
I'm like,
is.
it's fine.
Elijah, so I'm actually sympathetic to the situation that they're in with regards to the absurd branding journey of HBO to HBO Now / HBO Go to HBO Max to Max.
Here it comes. Yep. Here
Because-
it comes. I know where you're going.
Because the actual there's a lot of people online who are saying, you have HBO, that's the most amazing brand, why are you doing this, why would you make it Max? It should never have been called HBO Max. It should always have been called something broader, like Warner or Max or something, so that you could have the HBO brand, and then you could have the Discovery brand, and you could have all the other ancillary brands in a row, but that HBO remains special and good for the excellence that it provides. One of the arguments that they made for why they needed to make it be a broader brand is that there's a lot of people who have Discovery, a lot of people that aren't HBO people that want the broader kind of less, I don't know what you would call it, prestige-y, slow boil fucking content of HBO that we all love, and that for you is ponderous because you're waiting for an explosion because you're a fast X fucking moron.
No.
And I want you to understand something. They have to call it Max for
Because of
people
stupid
like
people
you.
like you. Yep.
Because
there
of
it
you.
is.
Yeah. Oh, am I a little bit ahead of you?
It's just
Oh,
'cause
that
the
one
delay.
had layers. I
wish
was
you could
fast enough
fight
to
through the
catch that
screen.
one.
You have been given a gift that is Succession.
Yep.
You have
That's
been
one,
given.
what is
you have
one
been given
location and 45 minutes of dialogue.
I am sorry that your fucking Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, 2-phone experience, broken fucking brain can't handle watching what is ostensibly, a play taking place in a fucking cathedral. Do you like, are you one of those people that starts, texting people during Broadway musicals? Do you get bored and walk out?
While you make love to your wife, Elijah?
While you
huh? What do you need to keep your goddamn attention? Okay,
You were given-
kids
that-
these days.
This is one of the most. This is some of the best writing in the history of television, and the audacity of you to come out of that experience and go 7 out of 10, do better. There's never been better. There won't be better. The golden age of television is about to end. The
Yeah,
writers
it
are on
is.
fucking Melrose, running around trying to get paid, and you're like, oh, this isn't good enough. You can eat fucking shit.
I'm not saying it's not good enough. The problem is that I go on and everyone is like, this is the best thing ever. And I just don't feel it. I just don't, it doesn't move.
Okay.
That way. I'm going to give you 2 things. One, I don't need a good reason for how I feel when I watch a show. I can just not enjoy it. Not be
Here's a
criticized by
reason.
it. Number 1. Number 2, I have trouble relating to these characters because I find them so detestable.
Oh,
I find
you know
them all
what?
so awful.
You'd make
And,
a great-
the hubris
you-
of like I'm supposed to be sympathizing with them. I'm just like, oh, good.
Hey, you know what
suffer.
you
Like, let 'em
sound like?
cry. I don't
You know what
care.
you sound like right now? You sound like the worst executive at every network who looks at a fucking pilot and says, I don't find any of these characters relatable. You're the person that tried to stop Seinfeld from ever fucking airing. That's what you are right now. That's what you're doing right now. And I'm not saying you need a reason to not like it, but don't walk around like you're fucking impressive. Like this opinion makes you brave or good. It's embarrassing that you don't like this show. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're right to feel the way that you do. You're right to pretend you like it more than you do on social media. That's the right thing for you to be doing. You've been given a gift and you've thrown it back in HBO's faces. We are blessed to have Succession, and it's about to be over, and when it's gone, you'll miss it. Tina Turner died. You want to see
Tina
something
Turner
mean
is
about
dead.
her? You think Tina
She's
Turner
dead,
is Tina
Elijah.
Turner 7 out of 10, you piece of shit? Jimmy Carter is in hospice. Jimmy Carter is in hospice. Not good enough? Not
So now
enough
Love is pulling
houses?
from other
You
means,
can
all right.
eat shit.
Also, like Barry was pretty good too. I like that this week.
I don't watch Succession, and I was convinced by that argument.
So go ahead and tune in for the Succession recap next week for all the subscribers, where John, and Tommy, and Dan will break it down uncritically together. Look, I'm very much looking forward to the finale.
I've been working
We
on
got
a
a
Kendall
Kendall impression
impression.
from
Hang
Malcolm.
on, hang
Elijah,
on.
shut the fuck up.
Hang
Malcolm.
on. So what do we fucking? So what's the fucking play? That's it.
Yeah.
We fucking let's fucking do this, yeah.
Yep, every week the best writing I've seen, and it's just Kendall mumbling, "Let's go to the fucking moon."
You know, you
rocket
don't have to
ship,
watch it. I
double
don't
fuck
watch
these
it.
Yeah, why don't you
guys."
I feel great about
why
my
don't you
decision.
turn it off? Why don't you turn it off
Why
and
don't you go
go on a
offline?
fucking hike? Why don't you watch something else?
Yeah.
Because it's Sunday night. Who hikes on Sunday night?
Right. And also here's Roman. Yeah, so I mean yeah, well fucking fuck you. Yeah.
Hey!
Very good. Do you guys understand what I'm saying, though?
No!
Hey, Elijah, I want you to understand something. Of course we understand it. You're not making a sophisticated point. You're making a simple point, and we get
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the point? Say it back.
it. End the show. We all want to get back to our fucking lives. Listen to you
What's
drone
my-
on
okay.
with this idiocy.
What's my online rating first?
Oh yeah.
Oh, 0. You're 0. You barely deserve to have a screen at all.
I would say 3. I would say 3 just because you have to you watch something and then go on Twitter and check out what people
Okay.
are saying about it as you're watching it. That's not nothing, is what I mean.
I'm gonna say 4 because you go out, you do everything that Malcolm says, and then you come here and you complain, and that to me is the most
Hallie
online
does
behavior.
not have a dog in this fight.
I don't.
She
I'm
doesn't
not
watch
I'm
the
not
show.
watching one damn
but she's
minute of this
still-
show, and I don't give a fuck. And that's the freedom I've accepted for myself. To hear you complain, you don't have to watch it.
Yeah, I'm with Hal.
Don't have to watch
I
it.
stand corrected. Even though I think you deserve no devices and you should be offline completely.
That's fine.
All right, I'll agree.
So-
I'll agree with Halle. I'll say it's a 4.
Okay.
One thing we like to do on the show is bully Elijah because he's on Zoom.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah, it's easy. I'm muted all the time. So this first question, this is from Miles. What's the stupidest online fight you've ever gotten into? And follow up, who gets into the stupidest fights and why is it Favreau?
John had some doozies.
It's really there's
Okay,
been some wild ones.
okay. I've had some bad ones, but who gets into the stupidest fights? When is the last time I've been in a fight? I'll tell you, Tommy Tommy replied to a listener this morning.
Oh
did.
no.
This morning,
It had been
a
months.
listener was complaining about us on Pod Save America yesterday. Long thread, 10 tweets. I look at the
Wait.
end, and it got me pretty mad too. And I was like, I'm not gonna reply. And then I'm like, oh, someone did reply to him, and it was Tommy.
This person wrote like a 14-part thread being like, why don't you ever talk about Joe Biden's age as an electoral concern? I was like, hey, man, it happens a lot. In fact, in the episode you're complaining about.
We
so
had a
I'll let
15-minute
him know.
discussion about it.
Maybe you should jump in. And reply,
Anyway,
too.
John is spinning. What's the dumbest fight? They're all dumb. That's the really.
I got in a
that's
bad
the-
one with Red Steez once, but I don't remember. What it
I'm
was about.
so glad you brought this one up because I remember it distinctly. It was like right when I started at the company, we were flying somewhere for a tour, and you got off the plane, and you were just like, "I'm so fucking
Seething.
mad at
Yeah, I
this
remember
guy,"
that.
and I was
I remember
like,
that.
"Who's Red Steez?"
I don't even. It's a testament to how much of a waste of time it is that I don't really even retain what these arguments that
Right.
made me so angry for a day, like a day and a
That's the
night,
tell right there.
and they're gone from my fucking memory.
There's a person. There's a person who's in the sort of lefty progressive ecosystem who I had to block because this individual would just unleash like vicious, out of the blue Saturday morning attacks, and you try to engage or you don't engage, and either way, it literally just ruins your entire day. So I was like, just block.
Yeah, I used to do some blocks, and then I was like, just mute, because the block, you block someone, and then they're like, so and so blocked me,
Yeah,
and
they
then
can
they're
DM you.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a
you
famous
gotta mute.
tweet that says mute over block. When you block, you give someone content, and in the internet, you should never give anyone content.
I
Yeah.
agree with that
Well
generally.
done.
The
My-
DMs is the problem.
My biggest dust ups, my biggest scrapes, my biggest
Whoopsie doodles.
rows.
Donnybrook's.
Donnybrook. That's
Or
what I
with-
was searching for. Thank you. Was in the height of the K-Hive era. That was when I did my most.
That'll do it.
That was when I did my best work.
That was a tough one.
Who are you fighting?
And
No, I'm a sensitive, creative soul. So if anyone says anything mean to me, I'm like, you're right. I'm so sorry. It was inadequate. I'll try harder next time. No, I'm not fighting anyone. I just mute them. I just mute. Hell no. I'm not seeing anything like that.
yeah, I don't fight. I just have access to the show account, so I just see all the negative stuff coming in about the show. The other day, I was hanging out with someone, and I was talking about it, and I was like, hey, do you remember when the Iowa caucuses didn't go off exactly right? And, it was like a whole controversy, and they were like, no, not at all. I don't remember that at all. And I was like, oh, well, it's seared into my memory forever.
Yeah, a bunch of Red Rose lefties accused us of rigging the Iowa caucuses
Us,
we had
Pete.
gotten a beer with a person somehow tangentially related to the app maker.
Cui bono for all the money.
And I'll be honest, I wish that was true. Like, to me, I'm like, that idea
cool.
is thrilling that we
Yeah,
would
that'd
have
be
that
cool.
kind of
That'd be
power.
so
God.
cool to
Why
rig the
wouldn't we
caucus.
have to do that? Give me a
Dominion
break.
voting.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, give me those machines.
next time.
Allegedly.
Next time.
Next time.
We've been getting all these phishing texts and spam messages. So I get a text that says, hey, this is Lucinda, CEO of Crooked Media. Are you free at the moment? I put my phone on the desk and I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I just texted back quickly. Absolutely.
You responded?
I walked into her office, like walked right in, and I'm like, hey. And she looks at me and she's like, hey. And I sat down. I sat down across from her at the
Made
desk.
yourself at home.
Yeah, and I'm looking around. I'm like, wow, this is the first time I've been in your office, because it was. And she looks at me and she says, "How are you?" And I'm like, I'm good. I'm okay. But she seems confused, which makes me like really confused. Like, and she was like, "What do you want to talk to me about?" And I'm like, "What do you want to talk to me about?" So, we talked a little bit, and she's like, hey, I'm glad we could do this. I'm glad we could talk. I come out, sit back at the desk, and then I see my phone, that my phone has been blowing up with texts about, this is urgent. I need an Apple gift card. But I was receiving these texts from her while I was in there meeting with her
So you
about
started to
nothing.
put it together.
Yeah, and I felt like a big fool. I slacked her. I'm like, wait a second, you didn't invite me to have a meeting with you? And she's like, nope, not me. So anyway, that's my
so
impromptu
funny.
terminally online.
That's awesome.
That's way better than what I was going to do.
Credit
That was
score.
fun.
Yeah, seriously.
That's great. That's great. That's so funny. I love that. Just so what's up? Dude, trying to figure it out. And also,
Invite yourself.
by the way, from her point of view, just like, wow, there must be something he's working up to get to.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
he's taking this time and he has something he wants to talk about, but he's getting to the place where he's going to share something or an idea or a concern and just kind of trying to have an open door and you just didn't get to it.
No. And like, who was more confused? Was it me or her? I mean, luckily she like rolled with the punches. She was like good about improving this meeting, but like I wouldn't just like barge into the CEO's office like
I love it. I
mean,
unannounced and make
you
myself
did.
at home.
I think it's cool as hell. Thanks for telling us that.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, we believe you, and
We see you.
we see you. Yeah.
Let's close up with the advice column here.
Dump him.
You're gonna tell us how to.
Dump him, girl.
That's a deal breaker,
You're
ladies.
gonna tell us how this
Dump
works.
him. He's just not that into you.
I'm going to tell you how it works.
Catchphrase.
The subscribers ask for advice. And this week, I'm the subscriber asking for advice.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay, twist.
So,
What's your question?
Are you gonna ask us what to do because you're stuck in a red state?
Work-life balance.
Elijah and Charlotte.
that's a deep cut.
Elijah, North Carolina, you're on the air.
So you guys are Obama's former speechwriters, spokespeople. Halle, you're an
Thank you.
excellent writer. You're a professional
you.
writer.
Thank you.
Next week, I'll be out in LA seeing you guys because I'm going to a wedding where I have to give a groomsman speech. How do I give a good wedding speech?
Oh,
is simple.
wait, first of all, if you were coming for a wedding, is Crooked paying for that flight?
Oh my god.
No, they're not.
Fucking
Oh
believable.
my god. Here's just a question. Tips. Do you have a time limit?
I
Sometimes people
have
say
a
1
problem,
minute.
which is like I can't think of a story with both of them in it that's appropriate to tell at the wedding. Is my problem that I'm having.
Here's
Just do the one you know.
here are a couple tips. Keep it brief.
Yes.
Oh, the most
that's
important.
number one.
Most
Brief
important.
brief as
Number
possible.
two, I think most important advice for giving a toast at a wedding is do not talk about writing your toast or how you didn't know what to say or I sat a lot
Nothing
thinking
meta.
about. Do not do the making of the toast. It fucking sucks. It's bad content.
And don't tell people how great your friend is. So and so is kind and smart. Find a little story or an anecdote that shows it.
Don't overwrite. Everyone overwrites their wedding toasts. Everyone uses way too many fucking adjectives.
No
This is
adjectives.
to Tommy's point.
No
Way too many-
adjectives.
Just find the story. Find the story that's funny. Also, provide enough context around the story so that the audience who doesn't know you and your friend really well and know the backstory can still understand. There's a lot of like inside
jokes suck.
They suck.
Don't do the things like, but you know what I'm talking
You know
about.
that
No-
time we were in.
no one
that
else
time
knows.
we were in Syracuse.
Oh, I'll save that for another. Not for today. Not for today. That shit sucks ass. Don't do it.
If you don't have
Amateur hour.
if you don't have a funny story, you should switch tack and just go incredibly emotional and incredibly sincere.
Just weep.
At one of my brother's weddings, his best man gets up, who's like, yeah, he's just a funny guy. He's from Ohio, you know, like he gets up and he gives the most emotional, like loving, open-hearted. People were sobbing, and because we just didn't expect it. That's what you do. That's how you get them.
Yeah. Yes. I think that's
That's
right.
good, Halle.
I think that's right.
That's good too.
Yeah.
And then everyone comes up and tells you did a good job. So really, it's like it's your wedding.
Go against
you know?
type. Go against
Yes,
type.
yeah,
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah. That's just great advice. I was definitely going to do a little. When I was thinking of writing,
It
this,
No.
sucks. That shit is
Everyone, it's
garbage.
been done. We've all seen it, you know.
And Elijah, it's not a roast.
Right.
It's not
Yes.
a roast.
yes,
It's not a roast.
Not a rose.
Was that helpful?
that was genuinely great advice.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Terminally Online. New episodes come out each Saturday, and you can get more episodes by subscribing to Friends of the Pod at crooked.com/friends.